Hey, what's up, people? It's Sodu here, and today I am super duper excited. I have a very, very special guest in the Bangladeshi Entrepreneurs Network. You are watching Ben TV. Now, this is the first video recording that I'm doing, that I'm interviewing a special guest here. So the guest should be very excited because this is going to go down in history of Bangladeshi Entrepreneurs Network. Now, I met this awesome lady or sister a year ago. Now, when I first saw her, and I was mesmerized, like, because of her confidence and what she was doing. Because I am one of these people that I love people who take action, and I love people who are very confident and believe in what they're doing. So I will let her introduce herself later. The reason I'm doing these videos is to help the Bangladeshi community and people who are coming into to become an online entrepreneur, or just want to start a business, they want to make some money, or they want to develop skills on learning how to start a business from home, like what we're doing, like my special guest here is doing. She's going to share some golden nuggets and her journey into the home business, working from home as well. So that's my purpose, is to help other people and share knowledge, inform, educate, and empower people. Whether you're a woman, whether you're a man, whether you're not working or not, it doesn't matter. We got all the information here that we're going to help you to build a business globally as well. And if you don't want it globally, you could do it locally, right? So that's me done. My name is Soidul. If you don't know me, I am an online entrepreneur. I help other people to scale their business and start a business from home as well. I don't want to go very deep into it. If you want to know about me, you can always contact me as well, and I'm happy to help you. So without further ado, let's get our guest on board, because I'm so excited. I'm so excited here to get this awesome sister here who is gonna share her journey into how she started her business. So I'm gonna let her introduce herself, who she is, what her name is. So are you excited?
Very, very, very.
Good.
So thank you. I mean, that's just such a wonderful introduction. So thank you so much. That was just really awesome. And thank you for having me here today, and to share some information about my journey and how I got started. So basically, my name is Nasma Hassan. I am in Manchester.
You got to
The other
Manchester.
side, yeah, the other side of the world that nobody knows too much about. So I started my journey into the business I am online, global business that I've got, network marketing, and I started it about 5, 6 years ago. Now, network marketing isn't something that I ever thought I'd get into. It wasn't me. It wasn't something that I even dreamt of doing. I didn't even know what it was. And Actually, for somebody like me to get myself started in network marketing, because when I first started this whole thing, I wasn't as confident or anything like that. So if somebody said to me 10 years back, you're going to start network marketing, or you're going to do something like this, I would have just laughed at them and just said, oh, for goodness sake,
What are you
you're
talking
talking about?
about? That's
What
not
you're
me.
talking about? That's not me. I'm not into that. I don't do stuff like that. So it's but the way it came to me, actually, the way, I mean, I'm going to say my business actually found me rather than the other way around. My background is with the NHS. I've been with the NHS for the past 10, 11 years now. And it's I've always been looking for something to do on the side, because, as you know, nothing, even 10 years back, or 8 years back, nothing was secure. No job was secure. I mean, now it's even more so alarming that jobs are just being lost left, right, and center. But even then, 10 years back, no job was ever secure, because there was always things that happens on a daily basis that sort of Maybe there's reshuffles at work, things that are put in place that you can't do, you can't carry on with your work and so many things. So it's just like I've always wanted to do something on the side, create a side income from home. And the other thing was also because I was looking to do something which would be a bit more flexible, so I'd be spending a bit more time with my kids. As
I think that's important, isn't it? Spending more quality time with your.
It's very important. I think as a working mum, the way we have balanced, life and work and family commitments and everything, there's all posters and things saying super mums, multitaskers and things like that. And we can do everything, but at the end of the day, it is tiring. It does get on top of you sometimes. So if there was any way of doing something which was flexible and you didn't have to stick to hours and things like that, it was just great. And I think when my children were small and when they were growing up, going to school, I think one of the thing that I sort of regret the most, not regret, but the things which sort of, even now when I think about it, it's like, when my kids come from school, and I'm not there to do their homework with them, or I'm not there to share their what happened with the day, because you'd come home, you'd get tired, you'd have to prepare your household chores for the next day, because in the morning you 7 o'clock you'd get up and you'd have to go to work again, but you have to make sure that things are set at home, whether it's the cooking, whether it's the house looking clean, whether that sort of thing. So you never really had that time to actually sit down and talk to your kids, or even spend that quality of time that you needed to spend with the kids. And then also obviously when they were ill, it felt really bad when you had to ring up and ask somebody if you can take a day off just because your kids were ill. You'd have to take somebody else's permission to actually spend time with your kids.
Yeah, it's that guilt, isn't it? You're a mother.
When you need it,
I think your children, not other people.
Yeah, and that's it. And the thing is that not always. I mean, if you're lucky enough to get that day off and to spend with your with the children, be there when you need them. But then if there were staff shortages, that wasn't possible either. Then you'd have to rearrange for your child to be put into someone else's house or home, whether it's a relative or someone, when they're ill. But when they're ill, the kids need you. They need the mum. They don't need somebody else looking after them. So I think those sort of things was something that got me thinking that I actually needed to start doing things which I could, lessen the hours at work and maybe start doing things from home. And like I said, the business found me. I didn't find the business, and the way I found it was through the products, actually, because I'm using the products for some sort of health issues that my child had. I won't go too much deeply into that, but because of that, I started using the products that I had, and then I saw the benefits of the products, and I started looking into the company a bit more, and then I started looking into the business opportunity a bit more. And then when I saw actually the people that were actually in this business, especially moms like myself, and they were like spending so much time with their children, they were, when you were just stuck at your day job, they were flying around here, there, and with the kids, and so it's just like they were doing their job with the kids around them. They didn't have to, compromise that time with the family and build this business. So that got me really, in this business. I think secretly, I've always wanted to be a business person. I did it's like one of those secret wishes that you have, like you want to,
something inside you really
be suited and booted, and so inside me, I think I've always had this thing of, jet setting here and there and everywhere, with my business suitcase and briefcase and things like that. And I really fancied myself as a businesswoman. But like I said, I didn't have the confidence to start anything on my own, because obviously.
What was your, sorry to stop you, but what was your biggest motivator? You said the business actually found you. What was the one motivator that sort of attracted you? I mean, you've used the product, you said, you fell in love with the product, but the other aspect, the business aspect, is totally different, isn't it? So I mean, what was that attraction, that motivator for you to get in there? Was it that looking at other moms, they can do it, and you sort of resonated with that message they were sending, that I'm a mom as well, and I've
Yeah.
got something inside me. There's that drive, there's that hunger there that I want to do it as well. But
Yeah.
because you wasn't confident, you were not able to sort of, how shall I say, take the first step. But
Yeah.
what was that
Yeah.
motivator for you to take that first step and say, no, enough is enough. This is me.
Mhm.
I'm Nasma Hassan. I'm going for it.
Yeah, so I think the motivator actually was, like I said, I researched into the company that I, got into, and I was looking at all the other mums and following a few people on Facebook that are actually doing things, and it just got me thinking that maybe I can do this. Maybe I can actually start living the lifestyle or having that bit more of a financial freedom that they've got if I started getting in this. And I think, spending more time with the kids and spending time at home was a big motivator. And if I could do something what they were doing, then it just gave me that extra time that I needed, to do things the way I wanted to do. So I think that really, really motivated me into, getting to where I am, or getting into the business side of things.
I'm going to ask you this question because we are Asians. We have a stigma and we have a certain belief, and we have our cultural, traditional beliefs as well. I mean, how did your, if I want to say, the big brother, your husband, how did he take it when you wanted to sort of start a business and work from home and follow your dreams and your desires? I mean, sometimes we know from Asian background, there is a clash. There is a difference of opinions here. I'm not going to go into this, but was there any struggles, obstacles in front of you, your family, your husband?
To be honest, no. I mean, I was very lucky in the fact that my husband supported me from day one, and it was actually him that brought the products into the house, so he didn't have anything to say about. He's actually doing the business with me, so we actually do the business together, which is, it's like a plus point for me, sort of thing. So he's always there. But the challenges did come from the the people in the community and stuff like that, because obviously network marketing isn't normal. It's not your normal job that you go to. So I had a lot of people, they did sort of like, oh, what are you doing? You've got such a good job with the NHS and things like that, because people actually think jobs are safe. Jobs are, anything else apart from that isn't. Yeah.
Especially if you
so it's like
especially when they think if you're working for the public sector or the NHS, they think job is for life.
Yeah,
that's not true. Once upon a time it was, probably in the 50s, 60s.
Obviously now with this pandemic and everything, it's it's a different story. But it's so obviously they saw me with a safe job. I've had got the NHS, I've got a nice respectable job in the background. So why did I want to start something like this? And they were actually, I had a lot of, and it's really sad to say, but it is family members who actually start putting you down when you want, and you get more encouragements from strangers, I think, than you do with the family members. And I've still got family members now that don't want to have anything to do with the fact that they just blank it out. It's not a normal thing that I'm doing. And they're always trying to dissuade me, even 5-6 years down the line when I'm actually doing it and I'm doing it successfully. They still don't want to acknowledge the fact that it is a professional, network marketing is a professional, status, but people don't want to recognize it. And plus, like I said, we're female, especially in the Asian community, a Bengali community, that, I think they'd be happy if I said to them, oh, I'm going to open a sari shop, or maybe I'm going to open like, my catering, a takeaway or something, or, I'm just going to open a little corner shop. I think they'd be more comfortable with that because that's something that they know. But because they don't know but because they don't know what network marketing is, they just have the stigma with this. They're thinking, no, this isn't something good. But, network marketing is something, and I found for the 5-6 years I've been with this company and with the way I am, I think it's just such a wonderful profession to be in. And it is a profession, and you have to learn about it. It's like, it doesn't matter whether you've had degrees in, whether you whatever degrees, qualifications, whatever you have, whenever you come into network marketing, it's just, you have to start from step one. You really have to learn the business. You really, really have to learn the business, know the business, understand it. And it's not something, and a lot of people come into it thinking, oh, it's like, you know, overnight millionaire think, I'll get into it and I'll become an millionaire overnight. And that's not the case at all. That's not the case. You have to work hard at it. Like any other business, you have to work hard at it. And, you know, it's like, I was just talking to someone the other day. It's like, if obviously if people would have been happy if I set up a sari shop, you know, but during this pandemic, I would have been, God knows where I would have been, you know, because I wouldn't have been able to get to my shop.
You'll be thinking
I'd be
about
worrying how to pay the rent. I'd be stressed. I'd be so much stressed with all the stock that I've got that I can't move. I'd be so stressed about if there was any staff that I had to pay salaries. I'd be so stressed about the whole lot of thing. And, you know, I don't think I would have been able to stay afloat. But during this pandemic, my global business has actually risen 250, 60%, you know, grown. And not just in UK, it's grown all over the world. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm at home now. And all I do is talk to people on the phone. I've got my online things set up, you know, whether it's through Facebook, social media platform, or whatever it is, my own website. I've got customers in America. I've got customers in Dubai, Bangladesh. You know, I'm getting income from all those, you know, so many different places. And I don't have to stress about paying the rent rates. I don't have to stress about paying for stock that I'm not going to be able to move. I don't have any of that. I'm just so financially secure and so free without any stress with anything. And I think people just don't realize that how, you know, how network marketing is, you know, compared to a traditional business, is so much more safer, so much more stress-free for you to get started in. It is hard. I'm not going to say it's easy and you're going to get into it and, you know, overnight you're going to start raking in the money or whatever it is. It is hard. You have to work for it. Like in any business, you have to work for it. You have to establish it. You have to get people to know that you're actually doing it. You know, and your products, you have to promote it so much. But you know but that's something I'm doing from home. I'm not going anywhere to do it. Plus, the fact is, you know, even if a month I don't get any profit in, I mean, that's fine, because I'm not stressing about having to give to other people or, you know, pay off the rents or rental. It's, you know, I'm not having to dig into my pockets to actually pay for those rental rates and, you know, staff salaries and things like that. Whatever profit I get, it's my own. If I don't get any, that's fine. I'm absolutely fine with that as well, because I'm not stressing about how I have to pay off all the debts and creditors and things. So yeah, I think a lot of people just don't realize. And it's direct selling. It's just you're doing things from home, online selling. And you'll find that nowadays a lot more, you know, high street shops are actually starting to shut down now. They will be starting going online. They will be, you know, a few high street brands have already started recruiting distributors to work from home and direct sell what we've been doing for the last 40 years or so. What the company's doing, well, my company. So, and the other thing is, it's just like when this whole pandemic thing, you know, broke over in March and we all had to sit at home, we couldn't do anything. We can go outside to meet customers, or we can outside to open up a shop and stuff like that. It wasn't any different for us, because this is what we've been doing. This is what the company has been doing for the past 40 years. It wasn't anything different. We were just doing what we were always doing. So it just didn't feel any, you know, anything. I mean, unfortunately, yes, and I feel really disheartened that there are so many people that have lost their jobs during this pandemic. So many people's industries have been affected, and things like that. But you know, alhamdulillah, we've been pretty safe, secure. And I think
that's the advantage of running a business from home. One of them is that you don't have to worry about stock. You don't have to worry about paying the rent when something happens like that, because we're in a crisis now, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's important that people understand that when you run a business from home, there's certain things that you don't have to pay, like the rent, like the for stock and all this stuff, because this stock is somewhere else and you buy it when you need it. Which is absolutely, the model is brilliant. I mean, traditional, I mean, we've got this Bengali within our humans, or psychologically, is the traditional business aspect of it. You mentioned that big brands are or the brands retail stores, they're coming online. Some of them have already migrated into starting online business, because that's the way forward later on. Whether you have a retail store or you got two options here. You keep your retail store and start an online web store as well. So you've got the both world connected there together. I was going to ask you another thing, is that since you've been, how long have you been doing this?
About 5-6 years now.
5 years. What's the biggest obstacles that you faced within running your business from home, and how did you overcome it? I want my viewers and my listeners to learn something, take something away from here.
Negative thinking and people, in your circle, putting you down, putting the thing that you're down, and always telling you that it's just one of those things, it's not going to work. I think those and biggest hurdles are those, and especially your near ones, and your people that you thought were your friends or your family and your thing, and they start, sometimes they start even unfriending you on Facebook and things like that. But it's just, if I listened to all the negativity that was surrounded me when I started this business, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And I am absolutely loving what I do. I am a global businesswoman. I am raking in an income from 5-6 different countries, and all this by just sitting home. But if I listen to those negative talks, if I listen to all those people that said to me, oh, this is just one of those schemes, just get out of it now, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And I think the biggest hurdles are the people's talks and the negativity and everything. And that surrounds, the stigma that surrounds this. So when anybody gets to know that you're doing this online business and you're with this company, they start forming their own ideas. They don't bother looking into the actual company itself. They start Googling things. And Google is like, if I Google a headache, it will come out with so many different things that will, and they might even start going on to brain strokes and hemorrhages and brain hemorrhages, and you might die within 24 hours if you don't go and see a doctor. So it's like it's what I'm trying to say is just Googling is, I understand Google is a mountain of information, but sometimes you just don't get everything that is through Google. You need to actually research the company yourself. You need to research. Don't listen to me. When I started this, I was told, oh, don't do it. I've done it before, and it's just a total loss, and it's just one of those schemes. But that, I just wanted to, for myself, instead of listening. I know there were family, friends, and they were wishing me well, but instead of, maybe the reason they couldn't do it was because they didn't look into it enough. They didn't, because the way I look at this is any business, if I open and start anything, if I don't do the right sort of training, if I don't do the right sort of learning, understanding, it's not going to get me anywhere. And it's not fair for me to say to someone, oh, it didn't work for me, so it's not going to work for you. Maybe it's like when kids go into school, right? There's 30 kids in the same class with the same teachers, with the same examining boards, with the same information, with the same resources and everything. Out of those 30 kids, why are only say maybe 10 are A-star students? Why are the rest just passing through? It's because only those 10 took it seriously, and only those 10 people actually wanted to make it happen, and they actually took the time out to understand their, and grow their learning and stuff like that. While the rest of the 20, they just, they just thought, well, the teachers.
Maybe they found the process hard. Some people, they learned the process, they learn how to do certain things. Yeah. So these 10 people, they went the extra mile, they done their homework, they done their revisions, and they had support from other people as well. There's so many factors that's involved here. So
yeah, so it's like what I'm saying is just because somebody says to you it didn't work for them, don't think it's not going to work for you, because you might take that extra mile.
I think one of the things that I talk about when somebody asks me, I said, first of all, before we go into any discussion, is what kind of mindset do you have? Do you have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset? There's a difference between talking to a fixed mindset person and a growth mindset person. Yeah, someone who is open to learning, who is open to suggestions and advice. He or she has a very growth mindset, which helps you when you're trying to explain and talk about your aims, objectives, or whatever you want to talk about. They're more inclusive to us. Whereas when you got the fixed mindset person, you say, "Oh my God, I've tried everything, right? You can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? And that's it, boom. I can't learn anything because I've been to hundreds and one." It's very difficult to convince these people. So I say, look, listen, before even we go to the next step, let's forget it there. When you're ready, when you come to me with an open thingy slate, where I can talk to you, and then you can listen and learn something from me, and I can learn something from you, then we're ready. But if you're going to have this kind of mindset, oh, I've done everything, or so and so said this is what is, this company is this, or this method is wrong. There's so many ways of doing things. The thing is, these days we've got so much information available to us. I call it, we get paralyzed. Yeah. What your information paralysis we get from, like you said, headache. Yeah. From a headache, you go to a brain stroke, then you die when you search in Google. So what do? A layman goes in there, say, what is this? You got so much information, you don't know how to filter through all this junk and all this information and get the right one, because the information is there. I mean, you can learn a lot of things from YouTube, but then again, are you good at filtering all this information? So I think sometimes people are very unaware, and sometimes what they make their decision based on other people's belief. Not, it's necessarily not their belief, because if we look at our family tree or family structure, so and so done this, didn't do well, and so said this, and we form our opinions based on that without researching as well. I think that's one of the things that we always will get, whether we do network marketing, whether we do online marketing, whether we start a shari shop or not. You will have people sort of making these kind of comments within your own family and within friend circle as well. It's how you deal with it. You as a person, you have to be very strong. That's what I believe always. Like, your mindset has to be focused. You know what your goals are, you know what your dreams are, and you know you're going to put in the hard work and the efforts and the systems to make this happen. Later on, it's a different thing how you scale it. Sometimes it's luck, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Failure is part of success. That's it's so important to understand that there is no magic button that you push that button and you become rich. Nothing. If anybody says that, run a mile, people, listen to Soidul, listen to Nasma, right? If anyone comes to you, say, look, listen, I've got this formula, you just have to press this button and you're going to be a millionaire. You're going to have your dream house near the lake with lovely blue water and a Ferrari outside. No, it's not going to happen. Tell this person, or you just run away miles from this guy, because you're not going to learn anything. You're going to lose a lot of money. Trust me. Anyway, so the other thing is that in terms of who is your ideal customer? Who are you really sort of want to serve? Because you said you're doing products and all this stuff. Obviously, you've used the product and you've seen the benefits of it, and you love the products. But not everybody loves the product, right? Not everybody will share the same excitement that you have with the product. You got to say, "Oh my God, you got to try this product, right? You got to have this. It's going to change your life." They're going to say, "Who the hell are you?" Well, nah, man, go away, right? So who are you here to serve? Who is your ideal customer that you really want to serve them, and you know it's going to benefit them?
To be honest, I think as far as ideal customers go, because we've got, I mean, obviously, if you're talking about the products that we have and the products that I promote and things like that, it's first and foremostly, I wouldn't promote a product, or I wouldn't recommend anything that I don't use for myself. And everything that since I've started with this company, I have. Obviously I've started using the products because of the products that I came into the business, and each and every product that I use are things that I really like. And I think anyone that's health conscious, anyone that's in this, and especially with this pandemic, it has actually shown you that, you know, health is your only real wealth, really. It doesn't really matter if you've got Ferrari stuck outside your door. It doesn't really matter if you've got jetting off business class. You know, the planes aren't even there to take you business class anymore. So it doesn't really matter how much money you've got stuck away in that thing, bank. You know, that doesn't matter at all. What matters is your health. And I think a lot of people have actually realized this. And so my the way I do my business is just trying to promote and raise awareness about the fact that you know, you have to start looking after yourself now and not when you need to, if you know what I mean. So basically, it's like, I mean, I always believe that our body and you know, is like an amana to us. We have to look after it. It's our duty to look after it, and investing in our health. And it's now people might think it's like the last thing on the list when it comes to looking after your health. You know, before that, it's always running after money. But I think this pandemic has shown us that actually, you know, money isn't going to get you anywhere if your health isn't right. So the stuff that I've used, the products that I use are all natural, they're organic products, and you know, and I just try to raise awareness and help people realize that, you know, you need to start investing in your health earlier on, and not when you're actually lying in the hospital bed, because by that time it's too late. Prevention is always better than the cure itself. So if you start, you know, looking after yourself now, you know, whether it's through the right sort of diet, the right sort of nutrition, exercise, everything, you know, like that, then it's just like, in the end, they will come in use. So it is, you know, it's an investment, but it's an investment well worth investing on yourself, because it's your own, you know, you haven't got any other life. This is the only one life that you have, and make it worthwhile, make it worth living, and just don't live just to live, you know, live actually enjoying
the biggest investment. Look after your health. Invest in the future.
It's the biggest investment that you can invest on your health, your family's health, because, you know, it's often too late when you're lying in that hospital bed and then you're looking for, you know, things to make you better. But now it's like, whenever anybody, whether it's, you know, eating organically, having a good diet, exercise, I mean, yeah, all that is investing. And people think, oh God, you know, forget about that. Instead of spending money here, I'll just go and buy myself a nice sari or something that I can wear my thing, or I can, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, trust me, you know, that sari isn't going to do anything for you when you're actually lying in that hospital bed.
I see that you love saris then.
You know what, I did. I know I keep on mentioning saris and stuff. I was one of those people. You know, I always loved dressing up and, you know, and going to weddings and things like that. And obviously all this thing, I think I've forgotten how to do things now. I've just been sitting at home, lounging around in my pajamas and my thingies, my maxi. So I've forgotten how to dress up and things. But yeah, I did really love, you know, all my things. And I have spent before. But like I said, since I've started with this company, it's shown me actually how you need to, you know, stay healthy. You need to invest in yourself. And I think I've stopped investing in, you know, expensive saris and makeups and things now, and I'm just investing in myself, really. It's really sad that, you know, beforehand, a lot of people will say, no, you know, it's okay, I'm fine. I don't need this extra thing just to keep me, you know, healthy or anything like that. But then when they fall ill, they start looking for the most expensive doctors available.
I think that's what it is, isn't it? Sometimes you don't realize the pain that you're in. Once you're in a pain that you can't, it's unbearable. That's when you start looking at other options that you're available.
You start looking at, you know, private doctors. You start looking at doctors, the most expensive medicines, and the thing is, it's like if you'd invested in yourself beforehand, you know, bit by bit with consistency, you'd be enjoying life. You wouldn't be lying in the hospital bed waiting for somebody to operate you, you know, and all the money that you've saved up is actually now going to go into a doctor's pocket.
That's it.
You know, it's not going to make you enjoy that money that you created or anything like that. It's going to go into all those medications and all those things. And you know, so it's just like, you know, look after yourself now. It's trust me, it's the best thing that you can do. And I think And that's
Do you
where,
recommend any regime or plan? I mean, do you yourself do any exercise? Do you have a routine?
yeah, I do. I'm sort of very much into yoga, so I do yoga a couple of times a week, and then I try to go on. Um, to be honest, actually, during this winter month, I've not been going out for a walk, but I've got a treadmill, so I just get onto the treadmill. But going out, maybe even half an hour, going out, just a bit of fresh air. If you can't go out, go up and down the stairs for a couple of times. But just get yourself, keep your body moving instead of just sitting in front of the TV or just sitting somewhere without thinking. So it's plus your diet, diet's really important. Have the right sort of foods, right sort of nutrition and things like that. So it's yeah.
I
What
started
else?
walking, my early morning walks. They're quite refreshing. They're really nice.
Yeah, they're very
Yeah,
yeah.
near where I
I mean,
live, there's a canal there. There's a canal and there's a park.
I've
So
got
what I do, I've got a nice little route. I go through the canal, watch the waters and the ducks and all this stuff, and then go to the park and see other people, keep my distance. And it's quite refreshing. I mean, it's really good for your psychologically, it's really good. And
yeah,
mentally.
first, getting up early, going to sleep early, getting up and going for that morning walk just refreshes your mind. It just gets you focused and just just think you so much. And I've got a canal down my way as well, so I just sort of like just walking down there for about half an hour, and then I just come when I do go on my walk. But like I said, it's during this last couple of weeks or so because it's been so cold and I've been a bit lazy,
Yeah.
so I've not been. But
No, summer's
yeah,
coming.
and I've
Summer,
got my
yeah, summer's coming. So
yeah.
it'll be nice and sunny. And everyone's got to feel
Yeah.
happy, not grumpy. It's not going to be grey as well. And I think, especially when you're working from home, sometimes it becomes very lonely. That's why it's
Yeah.
very important to network with other people, meet with other people. It doesn't matter if it's what the pandemic is happening, but you got these days you could do it virtually. So I think it's really important to connect with other people, like-minded people, share your ideas, talk about it. That loneliness would go because it is a lonely place when you're running a business from home because you got so many stuff you play. You're wearing so many hats. You're the salesperson. You're the tech person. You're the marketeer. You have to manage the
Yeah.
social media. You have to manage the budget, the stock, and so much involved. You're doing it by yourself. Whereas in a job, when you go there, you just do your duty and you don't have to worry about anything else. But once you're running a business, I think important lesson for us to learn and other people is when you decide to start your own online business or business from home, treat it like a business. Make sure that you
Yeah.
have everything in place, especially knowing your expense. Because when it comes to running it from, and you sort of neglect that because you don't know where the money's going, right? Sometimes, and you don't actually put down how much the expense is, what the profit is, what the profit and loss and all this stuff. It's simple, basic stuff that you have to put in. Then you can see where your business is, where you are currently, and how you can scale it up. So, I mean, that's wonderful. I mean, this is awesome. Your journey is really, uh, uh, really would sort of inspire other people, which is that's my one of my aim from doing these videos is to inspire whether you're a male or a female. If you're on the fence, if you're thinking about it, don't think about it, just do it. Look after your health, start a online business from home, and don't worry about what other people say because that's none of your business. And I think prime example, one of them, my daughter came and she asked me, look, listen, I'm afraid. I said, why are you afraid? She said, look, listen, because she was going to do a public speaking in front of the class before the pandemic. And she was coming and, Dad, I'm so scared. She's 14 years old and she's saying, look, listen, I'm so scared. I don't want to go in front of them. I said, why? Well, what would my friends think? What would the teachers? My voice. I mean, there's few things that in play here. One is that she's singing about her voice, and the other one is what other people would think about what she says. I said, look, listen, are you confident in what you're going to say? She said, yes. Are you percentage ways? How many percent are you confident? She said, I'm 80%. I said, that's more than enough. If you're 80% confident, don't worry about the other people, what they say. If you are saying, if you're confident enough what you're saying, go for it and then find out the feedback. She took that and she went, she done it. She was nervous. Obviously, everyone is nervous speaking in front of people. She said she got really good feedback. She said they loved what I said. I said, see, nobody bit your head off, or nobody said anything to you. The lesson here is, if you don't try, if you don't take that leap of faith and that first step, you won't know. You'll always be in fear of what other people would say, because you haven't taken that step. Because you haven't taken that step, you don't know what the outcome is. So sometimes just go for it and just take that leap and see how it is. Because nowadays you're not going to lose money. You're not going to lose a lot of money, because you can start a business with a shoestring budget. Right? You can even start a business. I've taught so many people that they can start with no money. If they do affiliate marketing, they can do it without money. So it was wonderful. Nasma, we're coming to an end. Last question I want to ask, that's going to help a lot of people. What is the number one advice you will give to them? Just one advice that you will give to our listeners?
Just something that you've just said, really. It's unless you try, you never know. And you need to give it a try in order to know whether you can do it. And I think network marketing is one of those businesses. It's a lot of people say to me, okay, so have you become a millionaire yet? And to me, it's not about being a millionaire. It's not about the income, because obviously the income helps, and income is always a bonus. Everybody, gets into these businesses to create that income. But sometimes that's just not the end all and be all of everything. It's the growth you have as a person. So when I started, like I said, when I first started this interview, network marketing isn't something that I would have ever dreamt of, because I was a very shy person. I didn't have any confidence, like your daughter says, speaking in front of 80 people, how am I going to do it? That was me. Seriously, when I was in class, when I was in school and things like that, I wouldn't even put my hands up to answer a question, because I was like, I wouldn't do it. It's just like, even though if I knew the answer, I would never even put my hands up to ask. And this was in front of a group of people that I met daily on a daily basis, the children that I was with in class. So that was something. I was a very shy, very introvert sort of person. If later on in my adult life, you sat me down in a group of people, everybody would be talking, and I'd be just like, like that. It'd be very hard to get maybe one word out of me. And look here, I'm doing an interview with you for half an hour. So the growth that you have as a person is just amazing in this business. The self-confidence you build is just so amazing, because of the fact that you're always hanging around with people that are so much positive. There isn't anyone here to drag you down or say you've done this wrong or you're not doing this right, or always putting you down. I mean, I think what we find in traditional businesses and jobs especially is the manager will only call you if you've done something wrong. So when you know that you've got an email from a manager, or when somebody says, oh, the manager's asking for you, you'll know that you've actually done something wrong, and he's going to be there to reprimand you. But you'll never get recognized for going beyond your job or doing something that you shouldn't have done, but you've done it just for the company's benefit, or your customers' benefit, or anything like that. Nobody pulls you up and says, well done. In this business, every small little step that you take, a little achievement that you make, it gets recognized and it gets celebrated. And there are so many people around you, surrounding you all the time. And I think that's important, because it doesn't matter how small, it doesn't matter what you've done, the smallest achievement, if somebody comes and pats you on the back and says, well done for that, that gives you a bit more confidence to go on to do something a bit more better. And every time you get a pat on the back, it just gives you a bit more encouragement to do. And I think this business has built me up so much as a person, as a confident person. I can speak to a group full of people. I do my own trainings. I even got up on stage in Bangladesh once and spoke to thousands of people.
Oh, wow.
And this is little me, Nasma, who wouldn't even put your hands up to answer a class question. So. So when somebody says to me, are you making how much are you making? I'm like, that doesn't matter to me. That's material stuff. What matters to me is the fact that I've grown so much confidence in a person. I can speak my mind now, whereas before I used to, even if I used to think things in my mind, but I'd never be able to express it because I didn't have that confidence, just in case somebody said something, what will people think? I mean, that was one of the biggest thing. And so that, that's one of the best things. meet people on a daily basis like yourself. If it wasn't for the business that I'm in, I would have met you. And positive people that
Do
become
you remember
friends.
when we met?
I think it was our success day we met, didn't we?
Yeah,
At that time.
one of the network meeting. I think it was wonderful.
Yeah. So, and then
Can't do
there's
that.
so many people, whether it's Razu and Ashraf and things like that, people I've never seen before in my life, but only through Forever. But they've become like brothers to me. And the thing is, they're actually people that genuinely care for you, that you actually want you to do things in life. It's not people, and you get in your own family circles, your own, family members sometimes, people in your own circle that don't want to see you do so much. But with this Forever, you get that opportunity. You get to help people, which is one of the biggest rewards I get. So whether it's somebody comes to me and says, "Oh, thank you for recommending this product. It really helped me, get rid of this problem that I had." That's like a blessing for me. That's like a dua for me. When somebody comes, like yesterday, I was speaking to a lady that she joined my team a couple of months ago. When she first started, she was exactly the same. She's like, "Oh, I'll never be able to do what you do," and the reason I don't want it, because it's people's self-doubt that actually stop them from doing things. And I think she said to me at that point, the reason I don't want to get into this is because I see you do this, that, and the other, and I don't think I'd ever be able to do anything like you do. I'm not that sort of person. I'm really shy. I'm thingy. I don't have a very big friend circle. I don't have any. So this was the conversation I had with her before she started with me. And then I just did, I say to her, unless you try it, you won't know what whether you can or not. So it's always good to try something out, and then there's no space for regrets. Yesterday I was speaking to her on the phone. I spoke to her an hour, and oh my God, Saidul, you just won't believe it. It's just like she was saying, "Afar, thank you so much for getting me into this." Because now she's actually, we've encouraged her to do things that is beyond what, like training people. So she did a training slot last week for me, and she was fantastic. And the amount of comments she was getting, people encouraging her. She's like, "Oh my God, if I hadn't started this with you, I'd never get this appreciation from people. I didn't even know that I had these skills. I didn't even know that I could actually had this potentiality to speak to people like that. And I never mind training people." And it's things like that really gives me the rewards for doing what I'm doing. And the income, it's there. I mean, I think what I say to people is income I can create from anywhere. If I do double hours, double shifts, if I do take on 50 different shifts, if I'd be able to get the income. That's not a problem. But to get this sort of appreciation, the fact that you've inspired somebody to do something, the fact that you've inspired someone, whether it's to look at their lives a bit more the healthier way, whether it's just to change a few things in their life that will just make them a bit more healthy, or like that lady that I spoke to, she's become, and I've never met her before. To be honest, I've not met her in person until now. She's a Facebook friend, and it's like she's friends I've had for years, So all this is just more than anything I can wish for when people say to me, "What have you got from this? What have you got from starting this? Have you become a millionaire yet? I can't see any Ferrari outside your house," or things like that. But to me, that's materialistic. I mean, Ferraris, I'm sure bank robbers can get Ferraris as well.
I hate Ferraris. I don't think I'll ever buy a Ferrari.
Whatever it is, those big thingies cars. I mean, if you want to, drug dealers, bank robbers, and they can get that. So it's not. But for me, it's not that. It's not materialistic at all. It's for me. It's the fact that I'm helping people. I've grown as a person. I'm inspiring a lot more people, and it's that really. I mean, that is the biggest thing that I've got from this. And anyone watching now, if you're in two minds of whether you can do it or not, it's like, unless you try, how would you know? And the amount of training we have, and the amount of people are here to support you and give you everything that you need to make you, encourage you to do so much well in life. You won't get that anywhere else. So yeah, I mean, I just say, just jump in,
Yeah.
get
Take the first,
started,
take,
uh,
take the
and
leap of faith.
just to think, and then think about how you're going to do it later. But then this is exactly the way I started. I had no experience of network marketing. I had no experience of running my own business. I had no experience of social media and thingy. But now I'm like Facebook queen, Instagram queen. Everybody says to me I'm on it constantly. But you've got so much potential hidden inside you, and unless you have somebody there trying to get that out, it's just going to be there until you
Well, you're the person who has
doesn't.
to unleash your own superpowers. If you don't try it, you won't know what powers you have, your inner powers. The example that you gave, that lady, everyone has it, but you just have to discover it. It's all about
Yeah,
self-discovery. And once
yeah,
you discover it, once you do it, you become more confident, taking that
yeah,
first step and just going for it. Everyone makes mistakes, right?
yeah,
Every single person who is very successful now, who wasn't. They started from where you are now, where others are, but they've developed themselves. The only difference was they were hungry. They wanted to develop themselves. It doesn't matter if you're introvert. It doesn't matter if you did not raise your hand in school.
yeah,
When you believe in yourself, it starts from you. The biggest obstacles is not your family, it's not your husband, it's not the environment, it's not people, it's you people. It's all here. When you realize this, you can take the first step. Nasma, it's been wonderful. The stories that I'm hearing, I think one of the things is, as a human being, when you see the transformation of someone that you've inspired, you maybe
yeah,
said something to them, maybe just the one word that came out of your mouth and you uttered that and it changed that. This is priceless. No
yeah,
money can buy this. Nothing can be so satisfying than seeing someone change and the transformation. And I think that's the business that we are in, and people
yeah,
I'm in. Definitely, I know that I want to help people. Money is secondary. Money is going to come, money is going to go. You gave a lot of examples that money is not the the what shall I say, the most important factor in your life. One is you got to look after your health, right? But the most satisfaction that you're going to get is helping people, serving people, no matter what they do, no matter what they say. One day they will realize what you said, because they do listen, they do watch you, they see what you're doing. And sometimes behind the scene, they admire and they want to be you, but they can't say it
yeah,
because it's that ego thing. If I say it, what would
yeah,
Nazma think? What would Soidul think? But look, listen, people,
yeah.
right? Have an open mindset, right? And be positive. And I hope everyone is successful. If you're not, find out what your weaknesses are and work on it. And Nazma, uh, again, it's been wonderful, 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 wonderful. And I hope your journey takes you even more higher and you reach your goals and your aims. And people, look, listen, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to Nazma, and she is a brilliant person. I know every time I reach out to her, I've known her for years and I've got to know her, and I'm still knowing her as well, getting to know her. And I think she's a wonderful person. If you go and approach her, she won't say, "Oh, why did you come?" and all this stuff. She will be happy to answer any questions you have. So feel free to contact Nazma anytime. Nazma, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.